If you had started Lost knowing how many seasons you would have, would you approach the story differently?
I think that, it's hard to say, there was a history to Lost that you can't really rewrite. I mean, I think the fact that no one thought the show was going to last more than 12 episodes was really critical in us evolving the show the way we did. I mean, it really liberated us to basically say, we're just going to make 12 really great episodes of television, and if people like them, great, but we're going to find them really entertaining. And we thought it would just be a little cult show that would, like Twin Peaks or The Prisoner, be something that had, Twin Peaks was 30 episodes, The Prisoner was 17 episodes, and we thought if we could do that, that would be really cool. That would be a great legacy. I mean, we had no idea at the time that it was going to be a big hit, and it was only after the premiere aired and the numbers were huge that we sat down and realized, oh my God, we have to come up with a mythology that's going to last for a long time.
I think if you take a story, you can tell a story. I can tell a story to you in 5 minutes, or I can tell it to you in 2 hours. It just depends on the degree of detail you want. And pursuant to that, that's how many seasons you have to tell the story. When we first produced the pilot, ABC was talking about maybe we'll just do this as a mini-series, and it'll just be 8 episodes. If they had come back to us and said, you have to do the entire story of Lost in 8 episodes, it would have been much, much different than it is today. Who knows if they ever would have even found the hatch in that period of time. We would have had to ask ourselves, how relevant is the story of the Dharma Initiative to the story that we're telling? So, obviously the first 3 seasons of the show, we had to continue telling the story as if there was never going to be an ending. That ultimately did not work, forcing us to sort of lobby for a definitive endpoint. And then once we arrived there, it really became more about episodes than it did about seasons for us. We felt that at a certain point, we'd really be stretching out the story beyond where it wanted to end, and we sort of landed at this happy medium of 6 seasons.
Malcolm David Kelly appeared in The Life and Death of Jeremy Bentham. Have you finished telling Walt's story, or can we expect to see him again?
In the Bentham episode, Locke has this opportunity to bring Walt back into the show. He can basically say, you're coming back to the island with me. He says that the kid's been through enough. And in a lot of ways, that's our feeling about Walt right now. Whether or not he will appear again on the show is something that we'd like to keep secret. But as far as him returning as a regular or going back to the island and being, back on the show in the same capacity that he was before, we feel that Locke has sort of spoken for us.
Libby is also one of those things where we feel like that story's told. It's done. We've told as much about Libby as we want to tell. I mean, she's just very tangential to the narrative right now. We have all these other characters that are sort of rushing headlong towards the end of the series, and there's a lot of things to be told about them. There's a lot of threads that we feel are much more compelling. So for us, Libby's story is done.
Oh yeah, Libby says hi.
Could you rule out one possibility for Adam and Eve?
It's not actually Adam and Eve, as in the biblical Adam and Eve from the Bible. It's
not the dog
something
either.
out.
And can you give us one minor scooplet for Sky One viewers in the UK?
You're going to see a couple of characters who you've heard a lot about in the course of the show, but haven't really gotten a chance to meet. How about that? That's mysterious.
Excellent. Thank you guys very
Okay.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Our
you.
pleasure.